suspected the fellow might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. Now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Oh, we're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. Not that I deserve to be. Can't even deliver a company slogan. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with gun. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to... See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, you sound a lot like my lieutenant. Here, hope this gun serves you. Here, you can have my saber. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but... You hit...
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the... This...
What in the blazes? Where'd you come from?
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health. Intruders are not authorized to access the Unreliable's amenity. Unauthorized access of spacefaring Hello, please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against. Please return any misappropriated equipment. I have been programmed to communicate with diplomacy and jettison procedures initiated. Disengage in airlocks. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed. This vessel is the registered. I am incapable of. I understand. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hoff. I understand. You wandered outside this ship and experienced a permanent, life-changing. Welcome back, Captain Hawthorne. I extend felicitations and congratulations on your life-changing experience. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new... This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne. Thank you. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this... Okay. Goodbye. The navigation console is offline at this time, Captain. If your equipment is in need of repair or modification... Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown. These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me. Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
I'll be with you, friend. I'm Ernie, from the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources. Now, it seems to me... Accidentally brutally shot themselves, huh? Unbelievable. Second time this month. No can do, friend. That armor's... You don't want to amble on over to Edgewater at your earliest convenience. Oh, and be sure to stop by the Edgewater Provisioner for a can of saltine. Don't get paid bits to chat with strangers. You want to...
Whoa, hey. We're running around in a marauder's attire. You talk too pretty for a marauder. Most of them just grunt and yell. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge. Quotas, mostly. Got a backlog of graves to fill. Bodies won't bury themselves, you know? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah? You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds. Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the one... all my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees. Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna duck my pay.
grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because...
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do apologize. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a marauder's outfit is in very poor taste. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified. I am asking you to help us survive. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we just...
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, if that's all right with you, Miss...
I hesitate to part...
Great! I got my wrenches and...
Well, I am glad to hear that.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. Got a sec? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. It's just... Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stuff, Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name. Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision, that's what my dad used. Yep, be right over.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Oh, sweet merciful law! A marauders and... There's a reason you're running around. Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early. And what are you doing here? Visiting? Well, let me give you the grand tour. This here's my domicile, and there's the door. Silas knows, doesn't he? I'm dying. I'm not long for this world.
Don't say that, Mr. Abernathy.
I'd steer clear, Ms. Holcomb. My affliction's bound to be contagious. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could Oh, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean nothing by it. Wasn't trying to insult you. Couple hours out of your day and some light There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. I need you to... I tried medicating myself with adrenochrome. Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly prohibited to... Tell myself the same thing every morning. You seen those young workers at the cannery? So you oblige me with your haste? Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauders have taken over. I know that. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone to see the good...
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Almost lost a finger in the cannery.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us, Wilson deserves it.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Foreman Granger, mind those words don't come out of your mouth. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked... If you're not familiar with board law, law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good... Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Not half as awful as the bill Eugene left us with. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to him... When one of your workers commits a... In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset... All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
I've never actually been in here.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. The office is writing up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal... Know how to carry yourself in a... Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just one per marauder. As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity. If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my... I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald... Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary, also known as the Board. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Shot you into space. You know, lying to a Spacer's Choice... It is. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority. Something to report? As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing.
Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good disinfectant.
Merciful law. Is that a Marauder's outfit? I don't want you... Please don't touch... Physical hygiene. We don't believe in free anything. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked... As broke as pie crust, friend. Bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. With what? Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have... Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have... What can I do? Go ahead. Edgewater has been good to me. I am... Hey, that's against regulation. What do you think you're doing? Just don't make any trouble for me, okay?
Where are we headed?
What can I do for you? Oh? You may think that, but the tidiness of my fellow... Whether you're showing up to work or going to that great...
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit? Lovely to see you about, Miss Par...
Things going on?
Best to ask her yourself.
My dad's buried here. Oh.
You run in... Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on it.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now...
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. The war! The coming apocalypse! Man versus machine! I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. That's right. That's what I've been saying. We got a auto-mechanic. When the swarms of mechanicals come... I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saltuna cans, mostly. Some Spacer's chaw. Few... Enlistment fees. The scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operation. Mechanical's got a weak spot in... I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially...
think something outside the walls tonight.
What can I do for you? What can I do? You know about... You probably heard of... Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them... More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're being serious... Ugh, gross.
Desperate measures, Miss Holcomb. Desperate measures. I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those teeth. It's the only way I'm paying my gravesite fees. Here you are. Eugene was not a suicide. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague. Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause... We can all thank our lucky stars that... I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with a suicide.
Grave digging's a fine profession. Yeah? Yeah. Funny, the night we were supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all done. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away. Suit your... You run in... Reliable work from a freelancer. Abernathy was sick? With the... I needed his fees because of his name. A, for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see? And I'll I'll buy you a drink sometime. Suppose you've earned it. Yeah. The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big... Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Hope's just a rumor. Maybe you've been out in... Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about Hope this and Colony that, but you need to stop, or there's gonna be trouble. Trouble's in the air.
Hey, take your time.
Ah, he ain't over it.
Bet I could fix him up smart. Hooray! Here we go! That's the last of them! Don't mess with us.
Bring us honor, soldier. You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one. Cantina. Sharp, ain't it? Go on. You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands? Mechanicals have been programmed to eliminate the human race. They've been programmed to replace us. First, they will rob us of our jobs. And once they have taken away our livelihoods, they will take away our very lives.
Something got you down?
Nothing.
You're not a big drinker, are you?
You read the latest report?
Only the part that sent me an email.
Bring us honor, soldier. Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit, designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing? Fun. This ain't some quarterly performance review, soldier. Ours is a grave and sacred duty. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson. I've been after a passcode for years. Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. And there's the rub. If a mechanical breaks down, the logic module fries, so you can't rip one out of its core.
I don't reckon so. I work with gears and pistons and such. Stuff you can put hands to.
You know, she names the mechanicals she fixes. Calls them Bess and Clancy and so on. If you... Go on.